Hi, I'm Javier.
And I'm Gretchen.
And this is Good Mornings with Sleepwell. And this is our episode 3. Yeah, episode 3 of our second season. No, it's not the memory test still hitting me. Yeah, no, okay.
This is regular.
Yeah, this is just regular memory loss. This is old age. No, we've had actually a really busy week. What do we have? We had the beer event. Talk about that. That was kind of awesome.
Oh, it was awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so beer, let me say this again. Bill the beer monk, that's a tongue twister, came and brought some of his brew to the store, and we set up an event where we had private invite only, where people can come and sample his beers, give him feedback on it. So when he opens the brewery, he knows what's good, what's not, as far as customer taste buds. But it also gave him a lot of camaraderie. It gave him a lot of reassurance and showed him the direction that he's already starting.
Yep. He has quite the following. I mean, we had at least 50 people in here. It was amazing. It was really good. And he brought 10 beers. I mean, it was a lot of fun.
Yes.
And I mean, a lot of people were like, "Well, what does a mattress store have to do with beer?" Who cares?
It's all relaxing.
It's all relaxing, exactly. I like
there you go. Yeah.
No, but it was an event to bring people in, not only into the store, but to help out friends of ours, and because Bill and Vicky are very close friends of ours,
Yes.
and it helped them out. It helped us out because it brought some people in here that hadn't been in here yet. And really, it was a really fun time, and it was really interesting to have people that hadn't been in here yet, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, your new store's so gorgeous," because they're used to. I mean, we went from 1,500 square feet to like 6,000, so yeah, it's been really cool. What was your favorite beer?
My favorite beer, I would have to say, is the tangerine. I loved it.
Good.
It was just a smooth, easy drink. I love fruit, so it was just refreshing.
Yep.
But honestly, and I'm picky, okay? But honestly, I don't think there was one beer that I tried that didn't taste good.
No, I think all.
And I'm not just trying to be nice to Bill.
Right.
I'm honestly saying, like, there wasn't one thing that I really thought was horrible. The stout was slightly flat, but that was already initiated on this was an issue, and we're going to take care of it prior to. But besides that, I mean, the flavors were tremendously good.
Yeah, and even for the stout being flat, not to defend it again, but for the stout being flat, they did a espresso stout that was just amazing. And it was, we had people joking that this is my new breakfast beer.
Yes.
And yeah, it was really fun. It was really a fun time. That tangerine one that she's talking about is actually called the 575 Ale when they open up the brewery here in town. So yeah, have a look at that when they open that up. But it was a blast. We stayed here till probably about 9:30, which is way past my bedtime, and it was a whole lot of fun. What else did we have last week? We had let's see. Well, we had the sleep experiment.
Your sleep experiment was actually quite a hit, I would have to say. He had great following on it.
Yep.
A lot of people piping in and giving their comments to, me too. Oh, I can relate to that.
Yeah.
So every stage, he brought on more and more followers, which was really good.
Yep. So that's going to be our topic for the video today. But I'm trying to remember what the heck else happened last week, because we were just so busy. I just remember us just going.
It was a lot of going back and forth.
Oh, you had a lot of chamber. She does a lot with the chamber here, so she had a lot of chamber stuff going on. I mean, it's an exciting time in our hometown, and it's an exciting time in the Carlsbad area. I mean, that place is just growing. Yesterday, we did a delivery out there, and we were talking to a new resident of the Carlsbad area, and he was just amazed as to how fast that area is growing. 2 major oil corporations are moving in there, so I mean, it's. I mean, you talk about a town that's really rapidly changing. That one is it. So yeah.
And if you really want to see the numbers on what he's talking about, just Google Permian Basin, and that's our area.
That news story. Yeah.
We had a news article that came out, and it was talking about it being the largest oil industry right now. And we're excited, but at the same time, we're not, because if you've ever followed the oil field industry and what happens to the land and everything else. And I have to say, the city of Carlsbad really is growing so fast that they can't keep up with it.
It's hard.
Yeah, the town itself has a lot more crime and drug issues because of it. just for their personal being. But it is bringing a lot of growth and development to the town, which is the upside.
It's just, it's basically what's happening is it's just a catch up. You know, you have to catch up. Every oil town goes through it. They have this sudden boom, and then the city has to catch up. And I mean, honestly, she's making it sound to me, a lot worse than what it is, because we haven't witnessed any of that, but the news stories are there. Yeah. But what I'm seeing is a lot of opportunity in the area, not only for business, but for the people that are there to like grow their schools and grow everything. Because I mean, that new school that's over there that we went to go look at, that was beautiful. So yeah.
When you bring money to a town, you have the opportunity to grow it and redo some of the things that needed to be fixed. But at the same time, you're bringing in so many more people that you're bringing in more education, you're bringing in more opportunity as far as jobs, like he was saying, even outside the oil field industry. But right now, what they're seeing is the influx of oil.
Just a lot of people in a very short time, and that's got to be hard for anybody to handle. So hats off to you, Carlsbad, for what you're going through and what the future that you have, because I know you've got a very bright future. So back to our topic. Last week, and I'll tell you why. Well, you can tell them why we decided to do the experiments for the what's going on this Friday?
Why are you putting me on the spot? This Friday is fan club.
Yeah. Okay.
Fan club is, again, it's a chamber event that we do once a month, and it stands for Food and Networking. So it's a gathering where all chamber members, the business owners or managers and stuff, can actually congregate for a breakfast. And then you have one business that sponsors the hosting event for that chamber fan club and allows you to share what it is you do.
Right. And so we are giving the presentation this month, and because our store is more affiliated towards the helping our customers get sleep than we are affiliated to helping our customers get a cheap mattress, our presentation is actually going to be based a lot on what the importance of sleep is to you, the consumer, and the customer, and the regular person that's out there. So what I did, I kind of was looking, and I was thinking about it, and the presentation that really I think would have an impact is if we actually put ourselves into a no sleep situation. So
not we as in us, but him.
Yeah. So she's the observer, and she's actually the witness to the whole experiment. And so the experiment is on sleep loss and memory loss. And I wanted to see what exactly or how fast I would start losing memory with certain amount of sleep loss. And the experiment was a 4-day experiment. It was short, mind you, and it was not like the most scientific experiment ever, because I mean it was, but it was still very informative. And I mean, before I start with anything, what was your feeling on it?
Well, at first I was like, he's just going to memorize these numbers, and every day after you memorize something, it's just going to come to you easier, even if you are sleep deprived. I really thought that doing the ritual of memorization each day was still going to be a situation where he could recall stuff, but you could actually see how he was really trying to think, and being put on the spot in front of the camera, I'm sure just added to it a little bit, but he wasn't really tense. He was relaxed. So I was sitting there looking at him, and you could sit there and see him really struggling, like, what is that? And it was always the 926 sequence that got you the most.
Yeah. So. And it was interesting to me because so I felt productive because I was staying up till 12, till 1, which the majority of people that are staying up that late, they really feel like they're being productive. But waking up 4 hours later, it wasn't harder to wake up because I'm an early person to begin with. But what it was harder for me to get started. And when I would do the number memory, and the first, you'll see it on the videos. I'll put the link on there. But the first 2 days weren't bad at all. It was a 7.5-hour day and a 6-hour day. Those are no big deal. But it was the 2 4-hour days where I started to be a little different, and it was a lot of fun. It really was. What was your biggest surprise? I mean, just like from it, what do you think?
I would say he has kind of a very rigid ritual that he does every day when he wakes up. He gets up, he either goes running or he goes out to read, and then we have coffee, and then we watch the news, and then he goes and starts his shower and gets ready for the day and leaves for work at 7:30. Like, it's just this ritual he does on a daily basis. So when he's doing this ritual and you're watching him when he's struggling more, he slows down, or he's going back and forth a lot more, because instead of just naturally taking his phone from one place to the next, he remembers, oh, I left it in there, and has to go get it. So
that's true.
Even your everyday occurrences were a little bit more stuttered. But I mean, overall, being that it was a shorter time span, I guess you could say, of the lack of sleep, it was brief things, but I can't imagine what he would be like after, let's say, a full week.
Yeah.
A full week. Hey, if you went 2 weeks, I don't think I'd be able to manage. I'm already like mother hen. I feel like I don't know how I'd handle that.
Yeah, it was, and you're right. So, like, for me, the biggest surprise was, and this isn't even part of the videos or anything. The biggest surprise was I started off at a certain weight, and when I ended the experiment, I was actually 4 pounds heavier. In 4 days, I gained 4 pounds. And what it was there's actually on the blog, there's actually 2 entries on weight loss and sleep. And what happens is you get very snacky. And I was being very snacky those days. I mean, I had big breakfasts, I had big lunches, I had big snacks. I mean, it was really weird. I did not expect that. So yeah, that's my biggest surprise. And then the other one was, and you'll see it on the videos. On the last video, I was slurring. Did you notice that?
You did. And you also would pause a lot longer in between.
Right.
So even after you did it, it was like your thought process had to catch up to you so you can actually say what you were meaning to say.
Yep.
So, and you know, on those snacky periods, I have to say, sometimes people do it out of boredom. Well, he had all these periods of times where he was trying to fill with reading more books, which he loves to do anyways, but he was trying to fill that void that he's not normally awake. So eating was just like a natural response.
Yeah. And that was really weird. On the good side, like I said, I got a lot of productivity done, a lot of reading. I caught up with a lot of journaling. It was fun. I'm not going to lie. It was fun to be able to stay up that late and get that much done. But it's not for me. No, and immediately we went to sleep again at 9:30, our regular time, on the last day of the experiment. And even though I have had 3 nights of really good sleep since then, I still feel just a tinge on the sluggish side. So yeah, it's really different. Yeah. But anyways, so we look forward to giving this presentation, and it will be this Friday with the Chamber of Commerce. And where will it be?
Margot's restaurant.
It is Margot's? I thought it was the bowling alley. Oh, okay.
They're changing it to the convention center over at the bowling alley soon, but not yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And the reason for that is our community is going through a nice little growth. And through the process of growth, our Margot's area where we've always had our fan club, always, we're outgrowing it. We literally have people coming in, and people are standing up after they eat so people can come sit down to eat. It's just getting to that point where you see people standing in the back of the room. So it's time to move.
And for a chamber event to be that full, it tells you how strong our Alamogordo chamber is. And
yes.
that's been a blessing to the business community here in town. I
Very
really
much.
appreciate it. Yep. Mm-hmm. So with that, we invite you, and we want to remind you that remember that when you sleep well,
you live well.
Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
We just wanted to thank you for joining us, and we hope that you've learned something new today. And if you like this video, please click the link below.
Yes, please. We'll see you next time.
Bye.